Good morning. I'm here. So yesterday I had a migraine and I just let myself sleep late. So there was no morning vibe for the public, okay? But I did vibe for myself. I feel very much 15 years old today. I don't really know why, but I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. You get into my. I'm doing Smokey Robinson greatest hits, beginning with the Agony and the Ecstasy. Okay, so today's card is the Five of Swords. And my overall message for the week was you may struggle to take action and to take your seat on the throne, whatever it is that you've been trying to do. Now is the time to get it done, to start one step in the direction towards your desire. Could be it. It could be the thing that starts the ripple effect that changes the wave. And this fits, but it feels like my boobies are a little bit big, but it's okay. I just can't help it if I'm fine as fuck. Yeah, I said it. All right. Okay. So the moon is in Cancer, and I feel like I'm getting big fork in the road. And with Mars and Saturn, they're still like 2 degrees apart. So they are still in a conjunction. They're in a sextile with the sun, so I'm getting breakout right here. Breakout. Like I said, I mean, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Then we've got Mercury sextile Mars, so it's like say the thing, do the thing. So, like I said, I'm getting this big, like, okay, you've got the opportunity here. Like, you gonna be scared? Are you going to continue to operate in this energy of internal conflict and allowing yourself to talk yourself out of being brave and getting the thing? Like, it's here, it's time. Okay. So let's see. Then we've got Jupiter conjunct to Neptune. So it is giving your dreams and your visions are here to be fulfilled. Like, you can actually do whatever it is that you were wanting to do, like I said. So with the last thing I have here is Mercury square Pluto. So communication can be transformative. So, like, stop bullshitting. Okay? Stop bullshitting. So what's the question I want to ask today? Why What are you scared of? Let's find out what we're scared of. Agony, ecstasy. But before I pull these cards, like I said, I feel very much like a little girl. So I don't know. I'm like all over the place. I kind of feel like squealing. I don't really know. All right. I'm going to get some of this sage and light it. What are we afraid of? What is it that we are giving into in regards to fear? Hello, viewer. So let me just talk about this because I had a little rage on Facebook the other day because, and here I go about to tell my son's business again. But anyway, he plays basketball and he's getting really, really good at it because he's been working really hard. He's been training and, he goes up to the gym several times a week. He goes to practice. He goes to training. He's been playing AAU. He's really been expanding himself for the last few years. And I've been spending my money for him to do it. But every time I kind of turn around, he's got some negative thought about himself because somebody said this or this happened or that happened. And I just kind of got to the point the other day where I was like, I don't want to hear about this shit anymore. Because I've been telling you over and over again that at some point you have to take responsibility for the thoughts that you have. You know, you have to get to the point where you can really tell the devil, fuck you. Because, I mean, it's the job of the opposition to stand in front of you when it comes to doing what you want to do, And I told him, he was like, well, it's this person's responsibility to decide, what team I'm on. Some coach at school that is kind of an asshole. And if he don't stop playing with me, I'm gonna play with his ass back. But he's like, it's up to him. And I'm like, it's not up to him. It's up to God. And it's up to you to keep your faith strong while you wait for the decision to come through. You don't give the power away to the devil in your life. And everybody has one or many, you know. So I just got frustrated because I'm like, you're going to let this energy stop you from walking in your divine purpose and doing what you came here to do, because you believe they know better than the divine. Fuck that. That would be like somebody jumping on here and being like, you don't know what you're talking about and you don't know me. So how the hell would you determine that? How would you determine that? Everybody is allowed to interpret their messages in the way that they feel led to. And that's what I plan to do here. Let's get a fortune. You will never be last in line. You will always excel. There we go. And you will be able to escape hell. You will be able to leave that motherfucker, because if you're operating in the darkness, you absolutely are stuck there. But I mean, it's okay for you to acknowledge your duality, but you don't have to be always resting in it. Like, you can use love. So, okay. So what are we scared of here in regards to taking this action and doing this thing and moving forward from a place of love? Because I really feel like that's what it is. Maybe sometimes when we haven't experienced great love, we don't know what it feels like. And we be, oh, look at that, 10 spades, rebirth. And we don't know what to expect when we lean into it, so there's fear there. So let's see, what are we afraid of? I'm not going to be able to do it with my hands. Anytime Mercury does things, my nerves get like, and that includes my body. So don't you realize you're such a prize? And I want you to know that. We got the 2 of clubs, 2 wands, a man or woman, however they draw it, standing at the opening to a road with 2 wands, trying to decide which way to go. Just like I said, big fork in the road. And I bet you didn't know that ebony eyes. The Jack of Hearts. It's giving the Page or Knight of Cups. Once again, like I said, if you have always been, I don't know if the word I'm looking for is rejected in love, but hurt. Remember we talked about this the other day too. Like, if your heart has been damaged or guarded and you feel like, this is an opportunity for you to break into the new, especially in regards to love, you're going to have some fear about handing your heart, love, to another individual, because what if they drop it, or what if they break it, crush it? But the thing about it is, like, we are really formed here by our relationships with others. 8 cups, 8 hearts, the long journey. That's one of my favorite cards. But it's like, that's what I was just about to say, actually, is we are formed by our relationships, the relationships we have with other people, whether it is our family or it is friends or loved ones, coworkers, bosses, that kind of thing. We are formed and transformed each time we relate to somebody else, because we're learning something about ourselves and other humans, and really how we are to be here. That's what Earth School is about, learning how to love. And sometimes it doesn't feel good, but we're taught, I think, in those moments that you can still love people who hurt you, but most of us don't know how to set boundaries. And so that's the part that really like causes the biggest struggle, I think, because if you don't know how to set boundaries, then you don't know how to move forward and have relationships with other people, because you're expecting them to act like other people have acted, or the relationship is going to go the way that other relationships went. But the difference is that you can set your boundaries and your standards and your expectations this time, because you ought to know at this point how to do it. If you have spent the time to cultivate the relationship with yourself and the divine, then you know what you need. You know who you are. You know what it is, what is required to love you, you know. So why would you keep having the same type of situation? So if you feel like, oh no, I can't do this thing. I mean, and like I said, it doesn't have to be a relationship. It could be like taking a step towards a career change, or being brave in some other thing. It's about the lesson from before being what helps you to manage this new experience. That's what I think. All right, so let me get the tarot cards. And like I said, I feel very much 15 years old, very open today. So I don't know. Some of this shit might be nonsensical. I don't know. I'm not going to judge myself for it. I'm not. I'm not going to judge myself if it is nonsensical or if it's something that I don't know. I'm just saying what's coming. Turn the lights down low. Baby, come close. But I don't know what kind of edit this is, because this is not the way that song usually sounds. Which I do really like that song, but I don't know about this version. Oh, look at that, the Lovers card. Okay. All right. The Lovers. Baby, come close. One time we went on this trip somewhere in Texas. My dad literally played Smokey Robinson the whole way there and the whole way back. So the album was just on repeat. For me and you. I wonder who that is watching. I see you watching. You don't have to say. I just wonder. Appreciate you for watching. All right, so let's see. What are we afraid of here? What are we afraid of right here? Besides sharing ourselves, being vulnerable. And being open to the new. Oh, that was alive. Yeah, I did not like that. Oh, the Two of Swords. That's another, I don't know all the answers. That card always says to me, I'm scared to do it because I don't know what's going to happen with it. So instead of doing the thing, you hold yourself hostage. You're like, I can't because I'm not sure of the outcome. But like, it might be magnificent. The Nine of Swords in reverse. You know what? I just saw, I've been watching that show Bridgerton. And the main dude this time, the brother, Anthony, he stops himself from loving people because, you know, he was sad after his dad had died because his mom was fucked up and he was fucked up. And so he was taught right there that love is dangerous because it can be something that breaks you, you know. And I've been there. Like, I felt that way after my dad died. It was kind of like, I don't think I want to be attached to anybody, because if I'm attached to people or if I love them and they die or they leave me, then I'm too dead. I also die. But that is not true. Look at that. 8 cups. So okay. You gotta do it. Like there is some kind of, oh, look at that. 6 cups. Okay. Okay. And the 10 of swords. Okay. Hold on. Okay. So this is what I really feel about this. The person that you are really desiring to become, or the life that you are really wanting, is literally on the other side of this relationship, or this step that you're going to take towards your career, or who you say you want to be. That is what the journey is for. It's for you to grow into whatever it is that you really want. The reason why you're stuck here and you feel like, why am I not the person I said I wanted to be, or why am I not getting the thing that I said I wanted to have, or whatever? It's because you're not doing this action that is going to be the catalyst that will take you down that road. So the longer you resist taking the action, saying the thing, doing the thing, becoming the thing, or whatever, you're holding yourself away from the completion of the dream. So being afraid to do the thing is stopping you, absolutely, which we know this, from becoming or from growing. So you're keeping yourself stagnant because of the fear. Like, you can't be afraid to die. You know what I mean? Like, don't stop yourself from living because you're afraid to die, if that makes sense. Like, the risks are worth it. The risks are worth it. What if I die? What if you live? What if you experience, What if you surprise yourself by how happy you are in the doing, But you'll never know if you don't take that first step. Like being afraid to give your power to another. Well, you don't have to give your power away. That's not what being vulnerable is. The candles are doing the thing over there. That's not what being vulnerable means. Like, if I tell this person I love them, or if I let them know how I feel, then, oh, something's on fire. Hold on just a second. Uh-oh. Okay. We almost lost a picture of my grandpa. Uh-oh, Isaiah, my bad. Okay, I guess he want to be over here with me. Lord. I was like, what is happening? I definitely almost had a fire in here. Okay. So, all right, my bad. Okay. So I don't even know what I was saying. I don't even know what I was saying. I don't even know where I was. Oh my God. Hilarious. Now I'm like, ooh. Okay. Yikes, a million. Okay, yes. Okay, I don't know where I was. Somebody leave a comment and tell me what I was talking about. Woo! All right. So, yes. I don't know. I guess I think about my grandpa too. Like, I wonder what it was that he really wanted to do. Because I don't know. I don't think he was doing it. He was a fairly happy person, though. I think he just was like, I don't know, kind of rigid. Because I don't think my grandma was very happy in that relationship. And I'm not going to tell all their business, but I think they had a situation at the front of their marriage where it was kind of like, they kind of forced themselves to be together, Like, I don't know if that would have been like the relationship that they would have really chosen if they were free to choose who they wanted to love, And I think that's part of this too. Like there's a lot of people who feel like they are responsible for so many things and they can't just, express themselves freely and be in their free space because of their responsibilities, you know? But that was crazy. I'm so glad I went to go get that because that would have burned a bunch of my shit up. Hey, Dana. Then we got the judgment card in reverse. Okay, yes. So that's part of it. So I guess I needed to go get that picture and be led to that part of that conversation. So it's like there's fear of what people are going to say if you do be and act in a way that is free. And it's like the thing is that it's not really other people's judgment that is affecting you. It is your own self-judgment, because what can people really say about you and your freedom? Hey, Dana, again. What can people really say about that? Like they can be scared for you, but it's like you can't live my life. You're not in my body. So if I continue to operate in a way that doesn't serve me and I'm not fulfilled, it really doesn't affect them. It affects you. For you to be like, well, I'm not going to do that because, my family and, I'm expected to do this or do that. And it goes back to that show again. It's like the dude was wanting to be with this girl that he was feeling very passionately about, but he felt like his responsibility was to marry somebody else. So, I mean, ultimately, of course, they worked it out because it's TV. But there are so many people who never take those wild leaps towards what it is that they really desire. So there's fear of not knowing what's on the other side of the leap that you want to take, and then being concerned about what's going to happen, like in regards to, is it going to cripple me or is it going to help me grow? And what will people say about me? Like, you cannot be afraid of that stuff. You cannot be crippled by the fear of the unknown. That's just it's gonna keep you paralyzed. Okay, so let's keep going. Ooh, that was crazy. I was like, something sounds. I saw some flames. I was like, oh shit. Oh no. Oh no. Sorry about that, Gramps. I would hate to lose that picture of my grandpa too. I would have been devastated. Because I think that's the only one I have. Baby, baby. Ooh. The world, listen, just like I was saying, it's like this hesitancy because in order for you to do the thing, like let's say like you're wanting to go on TV or something, you want to become an actor, and your whole life your family was like, actors are dumb, they crazy, and then every time you look in the news and it's like actors have poisoned blood, all you can think about is, what is everyone going to say about me if I become an actor? Am I going to have poison blood? Am I going to this and that? You can't worry about that, because if the way that you feel is like you're being called to do this thing, you got to do it. You've got to forsake the world and stop worrying about what people are going to say about you if you do it. Man, it's crazy to think that there are people who want to do things, and the reason why they're not doing it is because of whole other people who have their own lives and their own bodies to be concerned about. Like, you're going to keep yourself miserable for the rest of your life because of another individual who has their own soul to manage? Is that what's going to happen? The sun. I don't know what this is, but I'm not going to listen to this. It's giving very much 80s. It's giving 80s movie montage music. No, I'll go Anita Baker. Oh yeah, this is the one where she was giving me jazz singer. Okay, I just can't deal. Okay, let me go with Bob Marley's greatest hits. I just can't. My music is very important to when I'm in my zone. I'm like, because if I'm focusing on what they're saying or the music, and I'm like, what is that? Then it's hard for me to be devoted to this because I have too much Gemini energy. So I'll be like, Mercury is my chart ruler, so my ass gonna be all over the place. I do my best to try to manage it and keep it grounded because I'm a Taurus sun, thank God. Otherwise, I probably would be sitting on the roof doing this. Sitting on the roof, pulling cards. But I think I want to set myself up some little station outside in the yard to where I can do this because I really enjoy the sun. Oh, the sun card, yes. Oh, and the Ace of Swords in reverse. Okay. So I'm getting to like, I think we've talked about this many times because that's the thing is we're going to keep getting these messages until people do the thing, But I feel like, the inability to be your most authentic self and shine your bright light and to start setting those boundaries and start expressing yourself effectively is another fear that people have, mostly because they don't know who they are. We're asking you to be a version of yourself that you haven't yet found. So of course it's scary. Of course you're like, well, I don't know, but that's what the long journey is for. It's for you to cultivate a relationship with yourself and the divine, for you to figure out who you are so that you can shine. That's what it's about. That is what the long journey is for. So the key to the end, which is finding out who you are, becoming yourself so that you can do what you came here to do, is starting. You cannot get to the end if you don't start. If there's no beginning, there won't be an end. If you never start, you will not finish. So what do you need to let go of that is like keeping you anchored? I always see it like being a ship or something in the ocean that is anchored or even like tied to the shoreline. But the lessons that are required for you to become who you need to be and rise higher are in the water, further out. And you keep congratulating yourself because you finally got into the boat. Okay, what is that? When are you going to go on the trip? I'm in the boat. Okay. Now what? 1 love. The Empress in reverse. So yes, okay. Here's the thing though. You don't have to be, and I think this is why people don't start. 3 of Swords. Let yourself spill out all of those feelings. But I feel like people don't start because they think in order to begin, you already have to be who you're going to be at the end. But that's not true because you're not going to become that person unless you take the journey. You know what I mean? Like, this is not who I was when I first started doing all this. I was somebody different. And I was stopping myself from starting because I was like, I don't know that much about astrology and I don't know that much about cards and so I just started and I taught myself the things that I needed to know. Or if I didn't know it and I couldn't figure out how to learn it, I found a teacher to teach it to me in order for me to become who I need to be. You have to let the boat start going. You have to move the ship. It has to move. It's like being a conquistador or a pirate or something, and you have a ship. Well, you can't get to the treasure if you never sail. If you never set sail, you can't get to the treasure. The treasure don't come to you. And even if the treasure meets you along the way, you still have to do some work, you know. I don't know. But I understand being paralyzed. Okay, I don't know why. I'm just going to get one more. To fight this holy Armageddon, there will be the Eight of Swords. The Eight of Swords. Okay, I don't know. Sorry, YouTube. The Eight of Swords in reverse. That card is definitely about fear. That is the card of I have trapped myself in a prison of overthinking, too much examination. It's not going to work. They won't like me. It's going to fail. It's just not going to work out. And guess what? You haven't even started yet in order for you to know if it's going to fail or if it's going to work out. You are fucking with you. You won't know unless you start. You won't know unless you allow yourself to leave the circle of swords. Like there's nobody there holding this lady hostage. This cord that's wrapped around her doesn't even have a knot in it. She could easily go like this and just walk out. But you know what? The reason why she's not is because the battle that's taking place is an internal intellectual battle with her own thoughts. So what are the thoughts that you're thinking? Every time you get ready to start doing something or you get ready to do the thing that you want to do, take note of what pops up for you. Sometimes it is intuitive protection, but other times that is nothing but your own fear keeping you tied to wherever it is that you are and living the life that you've always lived. If you want to do something different, you got to do something different. I mean, that's it. That's it. If you want to do something different, you have to do something different. And no, that's not a supremely profound statement, but it's like, what do we know about the definition of insanity? It's what, doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. So like you can't expect for your life to change and for you to advance if you're never going to move. And you can't blame anybody but you. Oh yeah, I need to do that too. You can't blame anybody but yourself. We can't be like, I'm under attack by the devil. You can fight the devil because the devil attacks you in your mind. So if you come up with ways to counteract the opposition, then you can start winning and put yourself in a different position. But it starts with you. It starts with you. Like, it's like I was saying about my son in that basketball situation from before. If the devil knows that my son needs to work on his confidence in basketball, everything that he wants to do to attack my son is going to be around his basketball skills. If the devil knows that this is who I want to be and I want to be out here doing this, then everything that he uses to attack me is going to be about how I look on camera, the things that happen, the stuff that I say, whether or not it makes sense, blah, 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 all of that stuff. And I have to be able to say, you need to stop because I'm going to do my thing. I am going to do what I came here to do, and I'm going to shine my light. I am going to express God. You don't get to stop me from being divine. That's it. You don't get to stop me from being divine, whatever your thing is. A new earth. Let me do it again. And I don't want to say this, but it's coming. Some of y'all are meant to be in relationships that are going to change the world. So not taking the steps that you need to take to be in those relationships that are going to change the world or allow new light to be brought in I mean, whatever you're trying to do by yourself is probably not going to be successful until you do that thing too. Earthed. Okay, yes. Steer it up. All right, let's read these two. Okay. Since I've got you on my mind. Ooh. Okay, where is N? LMNO. Okay. Baby. Okay. Like you would think I would know how to LMNO to the alphabet, but like, where is it? A New Earth. I don't see it. Is it A's? Yes. Okay. It's happening. Keep holding the vision. Don't give up now. You're closer than you think. I know it's hard to hold the frequency of a new age when it feels as if so much is crumbling and so many are losing faith. This is your sign that you're facing the right direction. You have a great gift in being able to see the potential of things before they exist. Tend to the new seeds. Dream them into existence. Don't lose faith now. Keep your focus fixed. Planting new seeds and bringing about a shift of the ages is no mean feat. It requires extreme trust and a radical vision. If you pull this card, it's a reminder to have faith. You chose to be here to be part of this global shift. Whether you're bringing it about through prayer and meditation or through working on a new project, job, or creation, keep going. It's happening. Don't give up now. The world needs more dreamers like you, more people with hope in their hearts. The road ahead may not be plain sailing. Ushering in a new age of times is of change, never is. You're being encouraged to remember that what you've been working toward for so long is almost here. Don't question yourself now. Don't waver. Dig your devotion deep. For if you do, in the not too distant future, you'll be able to sit back and watch all that you've carefully planted and nurtured grow and bloom. It's possible. Keep focusing on your dreams. You're closer than you think. Yeah. But I mean, you can't create whatever it is that you came here to create if you don't start. So sitting where you're sitting with your feet dug into the ground because that's where you feel safe is not going to get you there. All right, Earth. The challenge for all souls having a human experience is to be in the world but not of it. To realize they are souls having a human experience and be fully conscious of it. To have their soul fully embody their body. People's personalities tend to relate to either transcendence or immanence. Those who lean towards transcendence have a longing for the heavens and the metaphysical. They yearn for a personal experience with God and to be lost in the heavens. They're envious of the angels and are more comfortable praying and hanging out in the stars than on earth. Whew. Tell me about it. Those who tend toward immanence have attached themselves more to earth and their body. They spend more time thinking about things in this physical world rather than connecting with the heavens or their own mystical inner worlds. Being a fully embodied soul having a human experience means finding the balance between transcendence and immanence, being in the world but not of it. Most starseeds are drawn towards transcendence. They're more comfortable with the angels and the heavens. Life on earth can be more difficult for them. If this is you, you're being reminded that you chose to be a soul in a body on earth, and you're being called to focus more on your energies in the physical world to learn how to be human, a soul in a human body, fully present to what life on earth has to offer you. Yeah, man. So like I think that happens a lot too. You know, people, like I said, if you're getting in the boat, you're like, I'm finally in the boat because you had your vision or you felt like, you know, the divine called you to it. But one thing you have to remember is that there are no bodies in heaven. They don't have a flesh. They don't have the ability to come here and move you physically to where it is that you said you want to go. You have to do that work. So if you're still waiting for some divine entity to move you to where they said you were going, you're not doing it right. Your physical self, your body has to move. You have to do your work. They have done their work in giving you the vision. So now your part is to start creating the creation here in the physical. They will do the rest of the work if you start doing your work. That's why I said, even if the thing can meet you halfway, you have to go to the halfway point in order for you to receive what it is that is coming to you. So keeping yourself tied to the shore, keeping yourself locked in the prison of your current reality, the life that you've always lived, does not get you to the life that you desire. The life that you desire is on the other side of the long journey, which does sometimes contain heavy fire, but it's okay. It's part of your growth experience. It's a must for you. It's a must for you. If you think, like I said, that you are going to get to where you want to go without you taking your physical body from this point to that point, you are going to be sorely disappointed. You have to put forth some effort. You have to be responsible for what happens in the physical. See, the problem is that people think they're responsible for what's happening in the metaphysical, in the mystical realm. That's not your job. You're not there. You're here. You're here in the physical body. You're here in the body. So how do you ground the light in the body so that you can use the light from the body versus I'm lost in the clouds. I'm stuck in my meditative state, dreaming of what I want. So like I always talk about with the chakra man, your chakras need to be balanced in order for you to take the action that comes from when your dreams and vision meet in the heart space with your desire to take action. When everything is aligned, you can say, boom, I'm doing it. I'm doing it. Yeah. Carefully now you will hear. This is one of my favorite songs because it just reminds me of the natural mystic, the natural just beauty of the 5D. You know, we can't see it, but if you know that it is here, then you can work with it. And instead of trying to live in the 5D, you need to live in the 3D and know that the 5D is working to support what's happening here where you can see it. It's blowing through the air, but you still got to do, okay, you still got to do your work in the physical. Like I can't say I want to teach people about astrology or I want to help them heal through astrology and never host any events. But that's how people operate. I really want to be a great jeweler, but never go learn how to make jewelry. Okay. You know, I want to be a great writer, never write anything. I want to be, yeah, I so agree with that. Absolutely. I mean, you have to do your part. And it's like, it's so simple as everybody's, like I said, well, what's going to happen if I start doing my part? The divine's going to do their part. That is the promise. The promise is you do your job, I'm going to do mine. So stop trying to do their job and do your job. Uh-oh. Ooh, this is nasty. Hex, be still and allow the enemy to reveal themselves. Man, okay, so the thing I'm feeling right here is like, you know, and I probably have this issue too. I've always felt like people are nicer than they are. And when I find out that somebody does mean me harm, it's devastating to me. It's devastating because it's like when people say, I'm going to let God handle it, and they sit back and wait doing it. Exactly. You know, at the very least, at the very minimum, you have to speak and ask, because just saying, I'm going to let God handle it is not you going and appealing to God. You still have to make your request known, you know? Okay. So, like I was saying, I feel like I always have been the type of person who's like, you know, people mean you well initially, and then they start showing who they are. And then I started to decide that everybody was trying to hex me. Everybody. Nobody liked me. But that's not true. There are people who are good and who mean you well, but there are still people who do not. So especially when you get on a journey like this and when you get started, you're going to encounter people who don't mean you well. But sometimes you have to let them dig their own hole. You know, you don't have to go running in, pointing, I knew you were going to do this. Sometimes you got to let them dig their own hole. And sometimes I will even ask for a sign in regards to things. And if I see it, then I know. You know, if I see that, then I know, okay, I was right about this. Like once I'd asked for somebody who was messing with my daughter, I was like, okay, if it be the thing that I thought, then let this take place. And oh, butterfly. Um, and of course it did. And I was like, so I was right to feel that. You know, that was an accurate message that I got about this person. So it's like, before you just go running in, like I said, and assume and start charging people up, ask to be shown. Ask to be shown. And then once you know, don't hex them back. Send them love. Send them love. Because what happens is, if people don't know, and this is why I'll always send love, I don't care what is happening. I'm going to send you love and protect myself in the process. But I send love because if they don't receive love, then guess what comes back to me? Love, not bad energy. Because if you send somebody bad energy and they don't receive it, it has nowhere to go but back to the sender. So I am very careful about what I send out. I send love. Even if you don't like me, I'm going to love you. I'm going to send you love. I'm going to ask the divine to send you love, because what you need is love. What you're lacking in that moment, the reason why you're even sending me poison is because you are in need of love. So I would rather send you love than for me to be like, yeah, well, fuck you back, bitch. I mean, and sometimes it still be fuck you. But when it comes to what I am sending out energetically, it's just love, because I don't want to get back bullshit. I don't want to have a hard time here because I thought I needed to send a poison to protect myself. I don't have to do that. I'm sending them love. And whatever that means for them, whatever they need to experience in order for them to get to love, for them to return to love, then that's what's going to happen. I want this person to feel love. I want this person to be able to see themselves as they are. I want this person to rise into their power. I pray for them. And whatever experience they need to have, they will have it. Whatever experience they require in order for them to return to love, they will have it. They will have it. So it might mean that they have to have a hurtful, painful experience for them to realize that they're not being in love. But that's not my responsibility to determine or decide that they're going to get hurt. I want them to love. That's it. I just want people to love themselves. And so sometimes, like I said, you have to have an experience that shakes you up and says to you, man, I have been an asshole. I need to love right here. So yeah, so it's not my responsibility. It's not yours either too. But I mean, people do what they do. I don't have any I don't feel anything about people who do hex work. I think it takes all kinds. I just don't do it because I just want to send out love. Okay. So this card says, don't underestimate the impact you are making right now. If you sense resistance and are feeling frustrated or angry in the face of it, don't succumb to feeling powerless. The opposite is true. The Hex Maiden holds her head high. Her demeanor is calm. She appears to be in contemplative repose, And from this relaxed, non-reactive position, she can best see and feel everything and is well informed. Like her, be on alert, but guard your heart, your opinions, and mask your feelings. Resist the urge to lash out and attack. Stand strong and silent and allow the enemy to reveal themselves. The sun rises on the horizon of the dark sky. The perils of the night are lifting, but there is work to be done to restore balance. It is the winds of change that fan the maiden's hair and stir the obscuring mist to rise up from the valley floor, clearing to show the way ahead. If this card is drawn in conjunction with Eunonia, which I have only drawn one card, it is time to go into battle against ignorance and cruelty. It is time to hold people accountable. But remember, when you point the finger, there are three fingers pointing back at you. Before you judge others and take punitive action, consider how you appear reflected in their mirror. If you're brave enough to face them, are you brave enough to face yourself first? Well, I think in regards to just like you're taking action, when we see a card like this, I think that's a lot of the reason why people don't want to do things, is because, like I said, they're afraid of what people's judgment is going to be, but also who is going to hurt me while I'm trying to do this thing. You can't worry about that. All you can ask for is protection. And if you know that what you're doing is divinely guided, then you don't have to worry about, somebody stopping you. Like if you get halted in something, it's because you're meant to stop right there, not because that person has power over you, or something has power over you. Just trust. Like, that's all I'm saying is, like, really, like, when it comes to stuff like this, you just have to be able to trust the divine. You can't worry about the people who are going to be hating you when you are stepping out and saying, this is what I'm doing. Like, don't let a bitter bitch stop you from being sweet. Don't let somebody stop you from being sweet. Because that's part of your gift. It's like to still be showing up and smiling. And that also makes people sick. And sometimes that's how they reveal themselves. If you're giving out nothing but positive energy and somebody starts giving you back bullshit, or somebody starts doing some bullshit to you, then that person is a hater. But don't take it personally. They're not really hating you. They're hating the part of themselves that they don't have access to. And they can get it, but it takes work. And we got to know that not everybody's going to do that work. That used to frustrate me too, because I would be like, why can't people just love? Some people just don't know how to do it. And that's not what they came here for. Some people actually came here to be the opposition. They came here to be the devil in your life and to teach you something. Just like a mighty drum. Bob Marley was kind of like that too, where he was like, man, they hated on him. They hated on him when he was doing his work. That he had that big concert where he was just trying to be out there and spread love. Like it was supposed to be like a love vibration festival. And then people went to his house and shot the shit out of him before he could go out there and create unity in his community, because they were enjoying the fighting. The fighting benefited them, the government, more than the concert for unity. So they wanted to kill him. And that's what I'm talking about. Like, it almost seems nonsensical. Like, how could somebody not want there to be a concert for unity? Because it didn't benefit them for the people to be unified. Same goes for the U.S. government, whoever is running this thing. It doesn't benefit them for us to be like, no, we are one. It doesn't really benefit them for us to be like in one Ohana family. Spiritual partnership. Oh, okay. I feel like I read that one the other day. Or maybe I didn't. Oh, yes, I did. So, yeah. So, like I said, too, okay, even though I think the most important spiritual relationship that takes place, unfortunately, in this world, it takes light and dark to create balance, but light always overcomes the darkness. Yes. Absolutely. I think the most important spiritual relationship you have is the one with yourself, but There are people who are going to travel with you, but you won't even meet those people until you start traveling. So everybody's like, I don't want to do it by myself. I don't want to this. I don't want that. Well, lean on what you have, which is the divine at the time. So when you're starting, it's you and God. So talk to the divine, talk to the divine creator, speak, connect. My boy, you know, get in touch with yourself. And as you move, you'll meet more people who are going to be like, yeah, I vibe like this. I like it like this. I like it like this. You should know by now. That was crazy when that picture caught on fire. Like it like this. Oh, Isaiah Robinson. Isaiah say, girl, you about to burn me up. I feel like I'm always getting in trouble with my ancestors. Satisfy my soul. Satisfy my soul. But you know what? I think that's just a message for me to remember too that, I lean a lot on my dad as a guide for me, but all of my ancestors are there. They all love me and I have all of their gifts all of the time that I can use. I need you down the corner. Oh, you know what? He was in a barbershop quartet. He had a very beautiful singing voice. My grandpa Isaiah. That must be what I need to remember about him. You're right. All right. And I said, baby, sweepstakes. So yeah, he might have been how he was, but we got his gifts too. Believe me. 7 of Wands. I'm calling. Won't you believe me? Okay. A battle has been fought and won. A warrior stands on top of a rocky outcrop, her weapon raised over her head. 6 wands stand in the ground, fencing off the area, giving her an advantageous position. A body lies bloodied on the ground below. The warrior has won, but at what cost? Her opponent lies at her feet, broken and bloody. Yes, someone in this card has definitely gotten their ass kicked. Was this a real fight or a practice session gone awry? The warrior must learn to temper her force, to know when she has won and not take the fight a step further. Will the defeated person be all right? This card's message seems to suggest that total domination comes at a chilling price. Taking risks, protecting one's space, and losing balance. I just feel like in regards to what we're talking about, which is like, what are we afraid of? I think sometimes that's it too. It's like we're afraid to lose control, you know? So like staying rooted in where you've been, you know the shoreline very well. You're in the boat, you've brought snacks, you have some water, you're sunning, you're enjoying yourself. It's a very controlled situation. But if you allow yourself to move forward, if you start floating in the ocean, you're not going to be in control of those waves. You're not in control of the tide. You don't know what's coming. You don't know what kind of creatures are out there. It's very much giving Moby Dick. You have fear associated with not being in control. But there is one thing you control, and that is always your vibration, your attitude, and your emotions. And that's another thing I told my son. I said, you have done a lot of work physically to prepare, to learn, and to shoot the ball, dribble, whatever the hell, whatever he's been working on. He's been working on a lot of things. But now your faith is what's left. Your vibration, your attitude. You need to practice in your spirit. You need to get your spiritual situation together because there's only so much training one can do, you know, in the physical. but there is training still that is required in the other realms. And that is for you to keep your energetic body at the balance. So that means, just like Dana was saying, it takes a light and a dark to bring balance. We all have light and dark within us. So most people are leaning more towards the dark. They don't realize that because they think they're not hurting people. They're not out here murderous. They're not, stealing, robbing, killing. They're not doing things to hurt others, but they don't realize they're hurting themselves. You're hurting yourself every time you don't let yourself be who you're supposed to be. That is how you are operating from a more dark place. And you probably don't feel very well either physically because you're not living the life that you feel like you were called to do. So stop serving the devil. Stop serving the devil and allow yourself to reach into yourself. Find those pieces in your shadow space that are blocking you. And they don't necessarily want to mean you harm. They're trying to protect you because you've never been there before where you're going. But you have to become friends with that energy so that you can learn to use it for yourself versus it attacking you and using you in order for you to turn your light down, hide, and not do what you came here to do, which is shine, you know. Okay, so I guess that's it. That I'm feeling. So yeah, so start with checking your thoughts. When you have a new idea, what's the first thing you think about? Then once you've identified what it is that you think about, then you need to get into the why. Well, damn, why did that come up? Why did that come up? And that's start right there. That's the shadow work for that. Because you got to be able to fight right there. Okay. All right. I guess I'll go find something to do. On your table. I have a client reel I need to post on Instagram. And then I think I just want to go outside. I think I want to go outside. It looks like it's 75 degrees and sunny. That is perfect for me to sit my body in the grass and enjoy. Because I deserve it. Okay. And you do too. So what if you were called to serve a higher purpose and you aren't because you're stopping yourself? That's exactly what it is, Dana. That's exactly what it is. People were called to do something and they're not doing it because they're stopping themselves, and they don't know. They don't know that it's like self-sabotage. People don't understand how that energy works. It's very, very simple the way it's done. It's very simple the way it's done. It's a casual planted seed. You can't do that shit. You're not like her. You can't do that. And no, you might not be like her. You're like you. So you have to do it like you, but you're still called to do it. You still called to do it. Okay. All right. So I'll see y'all later. And don't be a self-hater. Thank you, Dana, very much. Appreciate that. I'll see you guys. Bye.